Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2, playing our city of Second City, and in the last part we worked on Caraway Bay, which honestly is working pretty well. She's doing great. Traffic's doing pretty decent. Now, since the last part, the bike update did come out. It looks like I've got all my mods working, everything's going the way it's supposed to, but it does take a minute for the bikes to begin moving. Like if you notice right now, it shows that nobody is riding bikes anywhere. That will change. So we're going to let that kind of slowly over time fix itself. We're waiting for bikes, and we're also waiting for our port over here. If I click on the port entrance building, we can see that we're still nowhere near enough resources to actually finish out this port. I know you have a lot of comments and a lot of feedback on how I can improve this. We're going to improve it once we get a few more pieces here for the port. And a few people have said having the port just into the open ocean isn't ideal, so we might even come up with some type of like barrier walls or key walls that protect the port. We'll think about that as we keep going. But I thought what we could do today, while we wait for our port to get more resources shipped and we wait for the bikes to really start getting moving, and if we check, we might see some already. No, nothing yet. I did do a little play testing to make sure the game was working, and eventually we do start to see bikes start moving throughout. But before we do anything with bikes, we keep having traffic right here along this major road. And as I was zooming around, we've got, traffic here at this intersection. That's to be somewhat expected. It's a busy intersection. I'm not really too surprised on that. But then over here, we keep having traffic back up here along this section of Chester Highway, try to turn into the city, and then this just becomes a mess. Now, I will say you're going to notice some frame rate skipping, and that's because of this new update. In terms of my FPS, we're still floating around 30. In terms of all the game settings, I've not changed anything, but because of the update, it seems to cause the frame rate to skip just a bit. But I'm thinking we could do some traffic improvements today, specifically here for the downtown, that I think could go a really long way. The one thing is they're going to be pretty destructive. So if you look, we've got like our main downtown area here, right? This has got Horsham Flats, Longview, Wilmar, Mellonville. We haven't spent much time over here lately, but this area is our main downtown, and eventually we'll keep expanding that density out further. Oh, see that frame rate jump? It's crazy. Over here, we have Alexandria, we have Denny Ridge, we've got all this here. But we have this major road that cuts right through the middle. And along the entire length of the road, there is traffic. There's traffic here at this intersection. There's traffic here. There's traffic here. There's traffic here. There's traffic here. It just keeps going. And a lot of that traffic we'll see as this game keeps loading, but this traffic here along this highway is going to keep backing up along I-70 North because they're all trying to get out and turn here. Some are trying to go to the left, some are trying to go to the right, but it made me think it could be valuable to connect this downtown area with this main section of highway by adding in, as the American I am, a new highway. And we'll just bulldoze some buildings here and deny anything is wrong and just put a ton of roads and asphalt in this area. So I think we're just going to go ahead and get started and do that. Looking at this, we have some general apartments along this side. We have offices here. We have commercial and offices here. And then we have commercial right here. But this is also commercial. That was office. So all around, this area is mainly commercial with a bit of residential. Kind of similarly here, we've got some residential there. So I'm going to just take out everything that's along this route, and we're going to just clear out this center section. It's going to cause some destruction, but the goal here is that we're going to leave the game running, and we're going to try to improve our overall connectivity for the city. We're going to get rid of a number of buildings here. Now, because some of this was built with anarchy, I am going to have to, like this building can't get deleted without anarchy. I'm going to have anarchy on for some of this. It's not ideal. Ideally, we wouldn't have to worry about that, but we have to. So it is what it is. Let's just clear out, honestly, most of this section. We're going to just have a scar that kind of runs right through the center of our build. I'm thinking what we'll do is, we'll leave all that there. These buildings can stay here for now. They might all be deleted, but for the moment, they can stay there. We can get rid of all of that. We're going to leave the rest of this alone. If we come up this way, I'm going to take the highway and I'm going to curve it along this direction, which means this building here, what is this? A welfare office. This is going to have to move. So far, we've not done a lot with expansion over in this direction, but I'm thinking what we could do is we could, for the moment, just move this over to here, and we can come back and change things if we need to. It's overlapping those roads there, which are going to prove to be a bit of a problem because those roads are kind of causing so many issues. I'm building somewhere totally different, and the anarchy I used to build those roads is still messing things up, which is not ideal. Let's go ahead and get rid of this guy here as well. Turn anarchy back off. Now, let's get a sense of any type of traffic. There's no bus line along this road, so we can get rid of this road. And now there's no transportation along this road either, so that could go as well. We do have bus lines crossing all of these other roads. Luckily, there's none crossing this main street here, which is Robin Street. So as you can see, especially now that we've cleared all this out, Robin Street is our problem. This is where most of the challenges are coming in. I'm even going to get rid of this pedestrian path. Let me turn anarchy on just so I don't lose some of those houses. Inevitably, there were some things we placed over here with anarchy that we're going to lose, which isn't great, but it is what it is. We're going to figure it all out in due time. So now we've got kind of this open area right here that would fit a highway perfectly. Throughout all this, I've been doing 2 lanes. So I think we're going to stick with 2 lanes and then we'll upgrade 3 lanes when we need it. But if you can see, we've already got traffic coming down this way. This is going to need a little bit of a rework as well. So let's go ahead and start by building some kind of highway through here. Now, we also have this challenge in that this road, we've got a level crossing here, which I don't necessarily hate, but there are a lot of trains here. So having a level crossing doesn't really work well. I wonder if I could lower this road underneath. We have Highland Street here. I think it's worth a shot. It does have trams on it, which also, like, maybe removing the trams would be helpful as well. What if we did this? Let's go ahead and just... We've got a bus stop, too. Oh, there's so many things here. Okay. We're going to start with this Highland Street. Or Garland Street, excuse me. This is going to be quite destructive. But we have to do it. I'm thinking we grab a 6-lane divided road. Snap it right to the middle. We're going to lose some things, and that's okay. You're overlapping something. What are you overlapping? Maybe this path right here? And maybe this parking lot also. Alright, again, it's going to be destructive, but that's alright. So we're going to send this road straight out to here. You're overlapping something else. What is this? This is the Denny Ridge Firehouse. Okay. We'll move that to face this direction. Just slightly change that orientation. And then I only need this to go down, I think 0.75, right? And then if I keep this stuck to the ground, can that go underneath? Or maybe if I upgrade Highland to be a bridge. If I upgrade this section to be a bridge, right? Boom. Can this 6-lane road continue underneath? No. All right, we need to go a little bit lower with this. So bring this back up to ground level. Connect right up into here. I'm going to turn everything off but my snap twos for zoning and my degrees. And then we're going to send this down 8.5. That seemed to work just fine. Beautiful. Okay. This section of High Street also needs to become a bridge. The problem we're going to have is I think this whole road's going to be upgraded, which I don't necessarily want. So let's do this. We're going to grab this little bit here and destroy. If we have to destroy it, let's just destroy the whole building. Similarly here, if we have to destroy it, let's just destroy the whole building. Turn this section into a bridge, and then go ahead and get rid of those tiny little pieces there. Okay, we now can come back to this. Just connect to this, which we already have on the ground. You should be able to fit underneath. I don't know why you wouldn't. If I get rid of that section, 785, just connect to existing geometry right here. Okay, that does work. And now we just need to get underneath of this section of rail, which if we came back here, we went to our trains. Give me a little train piece here. Right about here is where we had this section, and then right about here is where we had this section. It's going to cause so many issues with trains for a moment, but we're just going to have to vibe with it. Convert that to a bridge and get rid of those new connections. Then let's come back here and, sticking with our snap to, send this straight through to here. Now connect right up and rejoin this section here. I like this. Let's do it. Now with that, because we've got the divided lane, what I should be able to do is grab the trams and upgrade this road so that the trams now pass through the middle. So now the traffic can be on the sides, but the trams are separate from the traffic the whole way through, which is great. Okay, that's pretty decent. I don't think we need parking here. Instead, I think actually upgrading this so that there's a key wall on either side is going to look much nicer and free up a lot of this room for further development. That looks pretty decent. Oh, you can barely see. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty decent. What's our zoning look like? We have a little bit of space on either side. I think what we do is we remove the zoning from these, get rid of these apartments, then we rezone these, but let's go ahead and grab the northeast high density. Right here, we're getting something built on both sides here. Let's get a little bit more business here, maybe. Okay, it's already zoned as business. Great. What's this square? Nothing. Nothing can go there. We did get rid of a parking lot that was here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all of this. And let's see if we can somehow fit a parking lot in this area. I'd like it to be one I can just plop down. This one is just a bit too large. Can this fit in here? It can. Do we do it? All of these are bike storage, which we're not really going to get into right this second. But this would fit right here. How many cars can this hold? Doesn't tell me. Either way, I think we place this here. It can hold a total of 123 bikes, 25 bikes. Then, if I was to try and come in here with a small version, that would fit as well. So let's place a small version of this here. It frees up a 2x2, which very much could be a small park. Can I re-grab the park that was already here? There we go. It's like that park never went anywhere. All right, we're going to see how that turns out. But now we've been able to separate these roads from one another. If I was to go like this and grab this height, could we smooth this to make it less bumpy? That's what we'd want to do. because it doesn't look great at the moment. Already, the traffic in here is moving so much stronger. I did end up getting rid of a bus stop, I think. That was over here. If we check, we have bus stops here. There was one over here as well that we ended up getting rid of. It's going to cause an issue with traffic. I'm willing to do that, though. Although it means you're going to have a lot of people crossing over one another, which we don't want. Maybe what we'll do is I'll move this bus stop here into the middle. That way, it can get out of the way again before you get to this intersection and have to start making some crosses. All right, already, I'm happy with that. But while we're here and while we're making these changes, I wonder if we need to divide the... Look at all the angles over here. That's quite fun. I wonder if we need to divide this road further, but I'm afraid to mess up just the very funky looking section we have. So I'm going to actually leave that alone. Is there additional zoning here? There is. This is a level 5 mixed use housing. All right, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I bet you if I was to grab a level 5 house, mixed use, level 5, mixed use. Can we get like real high density here? I want it to be, do we have any New England ones? We do. I would want it to have a width of 4. Could we do a width of 5? Would that fit here? If I turn off snap to road, can we squeeze this in here without destroying this other building? It looks like we can, so we're going to. Except for I placed it facing the wrong direction. My bad. Hold on. Yeah, I like that much more. We've got a little piece here. I know this is not at all what we were trying to do, but let's do houses. We want row homes. And we're going to snap it to the road and just sneak a little row home in there. Okay. That looks pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and just also, instead of saying we'll come back, which we oftentimes forget to do, if I just do a little bit of work here and there while building, it might be a little bit better. So that block has been a bit redone, but now we've got a nice new Elmhurst Street. This road changes so often. The problem we're going to have is that I'd love to also upgrade this, but there's just no way of doing that without ruining some serious buildings along both sides. But it might be something we have to consider in the future. Okay. With that there, I think we leave this on a level height here. What we could do, because we're coming into a pretty busy intersection, do we upgrade this? I think we do. If I were to upgrade this so it had 4 lanes, I basically want 4 lanes, no parking, but I could get away with doing a asymmetrical road just like this, just to allow for some better connections here. We've got a bunch of buses backed up, which is not good. Why are you all sitting here? Did you all have to go back for maintenance or something? Or did you all get stuck in traffic? Which also very well could have happened. Okay. Haven't solved this problem yet, but now we've got a much cleaner connection here. We've separated the trolley a bit. Now we can fit our highway in. I do think we also have to get rid of this pathway here. I know it's beautiful. I know we love it, but I think it needs to go. And Wilmar's small post office. I just don't think that's enough. Extra storage space. We'll see if that can help you out. You might need a bigger post office, though. All in. Now, one building we do have to protect is this building. I'm obsessed with this building. I don't want to mess it up if I can help it at all. Highways. We're going to want them to be parallel. And we're going to want them to be able to go over the roads here. Which now they very much can. If I were to go from here straight on down, I would like to have maybe 3 blocks or 3 squares along this side. Oh, hold on. That was not right. I forgot I had it connected to the ground, which now has just messed up everything. Undo that. Turn Anarchy back off. Does this need to be smoothed at all? Or is it okay? Seems to be all right. All right, let's do this. Turn off snap to ground. I want to have 3 sections or 3 grid pieces here so that I can then make some entrances and exits. How exactly we're going to tie those all together, I'm not sure just yet, but we're going to figure it out. If this was to come straight through here, and if I turned on constant slope, so we know we get a nice slope here. How does that look? Not too bad. Not too bad. Now we got to get these over this way. I'm thinking this is going to come over here and connect eventually into this highway. A little bit of traffic here, not a big deal. I could just quickly help this out a bit if I just went like this and like this. Sure. Why don't we also just give you a little roundabout? Yeah, I don't know what that little piece was, but let's get rid of that. Let's then grab this, come up to here, connect into here, and then come into here and give it a little roundabout. Just to make this work maybe a little bit better. We'll see if that can do it. That's a medium. Let's give it a large. Even here, though, this looks strange. Did I use the wrong road? I think I did. I used a highway instead of what I actually wanted to use. Can y'all figure this out? I have faith in you. Do you have faith in yourself? What if we were to shimmy this over? Just like so. 2 lanes can turn in, 2 lanes can turn in, 1 lane has to go around. Better yet, leave it here with a light, but now that we have this built out with a little bit more lanes, that might solve that problem. Still haven't figured out how to solve the high resource costs. I haven't really looked into it much, so if you know, just let me know in the comments, because I've not really done it myself yet. I need to look at it. It's like pretty low on my priority list. We're still turning in money, so I'm comfortable. All right, so we've got a new section of road here. Let's go ahead and turn this over this direction, and I'm going to kind of parallel with this section of Robin Street. Now, how easy that's going to be, I'm not sure. But I think if anyone can do it, it's us. We want 2 lane roads. What I want to do is I want to take this basically straight on up here. And I want to start curving it like this. Now, what are we running into? We're saying there's not enough height. If I go up a little bit more, we're okay. It just is really saying we're hitting that piece there. Are we actually running into... Let's just do a little test. Are we too high to be going over this? No, we can get over these roads just fine. So I wonder if this comes in a bit and then curves that direction. Right? If we were to take this back just a little bit, and we were to instead send this out this way, use the complex curve, and then curve it like this. Can we make this work? That second click is seeming to be what causes the issue. But hold on. You're saying you're overlapping. Oh, but we were so close. If I were to go here Go here to here. There's got to be a way to do this, guys. I'm confident. It's that second click that causes an issue with that rail. Is that because you're getting a column or something in the way? Yeah, there's a column that's forming right on top of that piece. And there's no way to do this. What if we were to come the opposite direction? What if I was to come over like this? What if we do this? Let's place the section of road we want here. Again, I'm going to want to have 3 pieces available to me when it's time to add in some entrances and exits. Is that kind of an arbitrary number? Yeah, a little bit. I'm just deciding that's going to be the right number, but I don't actually know. I guess the question is, should we just commit to redeveloping this whole spot? And instead, we just we straight up redevelop this whole spot. Like, is this starting now? What type of connections are over here? We have one bus line that comes through here, and they stop here and here. And it continues on through Ortega. If I was to get rid of this road, I would lose this bus stop. But if I moved this bus stop to here, and instead I took this bus line, which already wanted to turn this way anyway, and let it go around the roundabout, that then clears this particular block. I could then move this building to here, and we could get rid of this road entirely. We've got traffic problems we've got to solve. Because now, if I were to bring this guy straight on out here, here's this connection point, and we loosely begin to turn it. I thought I saw all blue. I don't know if I trust that those are actual problems. Let's anarchy this in here and see what happens. Because this particular area has just all been anarchied over time. Are you on any of those tracks? No. It brings the highway down and gets it to connect in there. Not bad. Let's clear out some of these trees that are very much in the way. There are people walking on the highway, which isn't ideal. And let's go ahead and make some small edits here in that this, I think, needs to be raised like this the whole way through there. And I actually think we take it one more. We let that be there, and then it's going to be raised the rest of the way through. Okay. Crosses over this section. Comes over this way. Okay. Now the challenge is we have to get this to tie in to what's going on over here. So what I think we do is I think we need to rethink some of this area as well. This particular part of Chester Highway is going to have to be deleted because I think we're going to take this road and we're going to send one lane of it over this direction, and we're going to send another lane of it over this direction to connect into this road. Then I also need to figure out how to connect these highways together a bit nicer as well. All of this was built with anarchy. Look at this traffic. Look at this traffic. So there's going to be a lot of stuff here that needs to be upgraded that I might have to keep anarchy for, but we'll see what happens. Can I go ahead and upgrade this to 3 lanes? Upgrade this to 3. Upgrade this to 3. It's already 3 here, which then takes you to that exit. which this exit isn't great. So let's also just go ahead and get rid of it. Why can't you be upgraded to 3? You can if we bump you out this way, which I'm not against. Then we can upgrade this to 3. You're already set up as 3. Let's go ahead and get rid of this connection as well. This is going to cause a lot of chaos, at least for a little bit. We will fix it. Then it becomes it used to become an exit lane, but I guess we removed that at some point. So we've got a lot of reconnections to have to make. But now we've got 3 lanes of traffic going through here. Let's figure out how to get this somewhat connected. We're going to want 1 lane going left and 1 lane going right. I'm also going to need to get... I think this particular connection may only come off I-95 north, or I-70 north, not I-70 south. Or do we take this and we send this up and in as well? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and just totally disconnect everything here. And let's try to get some highway going this direction. Now, if we're here, bring this down to the ground. All of this is raised. So theoretically, turn off parallel mode. Theoretically, I should be able to curve just like this and connect right up and in. What's the grade on that? 4%? That's not bad. But before I do that, I think I'm going to want to upgrade this portion of road into a 4-lane road. That way, this connection fits in quite nicely. It also means that at least for this section, this needs to become a 3-lane, as does this, which it's saying the clearance is too low. It's not, so we're going to anarchy that in there as well. I accidentally think I left this as bridge. So we can get rid of that bridge because we don't need it to be a bridge. But now you have 2 lanes that turn left, or turn right, and 2 lanes that go straight. Okay? Now this doesn't take anywhere. No one's going to use it. But there it is. Then we're going to want to get I-70 north over this way as well. And I'm wondering if we upgrade this segment of road. Can I turn anarchy off and still accomplish this? Yeah. Turn that into a bridge as well. Let's grab this height here and just start to eat into some of this land here. All right, so now that's kind of opened up some of this area here, which is really useful. With that open, I now need to get I-70 over. So what I'm thinking is we take a road from I-70. Let's grab the highway roads. We're going to want 4-lane 2-way. Let's see if we can make this happen. If I was to take a 4-lane 2-way road right here, let's keep it down to the ground. Let's send it under here just like this. Right? Let's see if we can make this look at least somewhat decent. If this was to kind of come out this direction and curve up like this, it would be a pretty tight turn. But look at where we're building. I mean, we're trying to build in the middle of a city. So some of these connections may not be perfect, and that's okay. If I grabbed this and shimmied it out this direction a little bit, and I grabbed these nodes here and just pulled them out a bit, right? get rid of the trees that are in the way. Then you upgrade this section into 4 lanes. Do I have a 5 lane? Or is it 5 lane? We're going to briefly upgrade that to 5 lanes so that these have their own turning lanes. Then we take this and we send this over top into here. Can we do that? If I grab 4 lane with a curve, we go ahead and loosely here is where we're going to make this turn. How bad is that? Really not terrible. It could be worse. It could be worse. If I were to raise this up just a bit, it's not terrible. What we can do is we can pretend that I've set the speed limit lower. Okay. Get rid of all these trees. You don't need to be in the road. This also leaves something to be desired because we're not really meeting the moment here. If I was to set this here as a 4 lane, and then we use move it, but we use this type of move it like this, we then have 1 lane that is a dedicated turn, as well as 1 lane that allows you to turn or go straight. Okay, that's pretty decent. And now you can go this direction. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take this 4 lane. We're basically going to go just like this. Let's give it a little bit of a curve. Then we take a 2 lane road and we go from here to here. Although that's not working. Let's back that up. Can I do it this way? Can we go boop? That worked. Okay, there's that one. And then this one's going to go that way, but I also need to have a second lane that crosses over and comes this way to exit. So to do that, I think what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade this segment here into a 3 lane road. We're then going to take this with complex and go here, here, here. So now we've got that crossed over that direction. Then we're going to take this additional lane right here. What do I need to be at to get over? Right here works. Doesn't really work though, does it? We'll go ahead and place this right here. Then let's go ahead and see if we can get this to curve over to here, turn all of this off. And we want to place this right here. Can I do that? I can. So let's do it. Then we're going to figure out a way to snake this under and over. So I think we need a complex curve here, right? Send this to here. We're going to send it like this, but we're going to go ahead and start dropping this down. Oh, no, we just want to go down to 0. What happens here? We're still too high up? Hold on, I thought I saw a lot of blue there for a second. That works. We'll do it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this along the side here for a moment. And then I need to fix this. So this comes from 5 lanes down to 4 lanes, down to 3 lanes, down to 2 lanes. If I was to come in here with Anarchy, build this road here just for a second, go ahead and upgrade this down to 2 lanes. Turn off snapping. Do it right here. Then we were to do a straight line right here. Can I do this without anarchy and upgrade? I can if I go that way. I can't there because there's a pole. Well, looks like we're going to shimmy over a little bit. That's okay. Get rid of these two guys here. And now, we take this and we go right up into there. Okay. New interchange kind of tucked right in here. Looking decent enough. This particular turn's a little tight, but I think we can survive with it. I am going to, while I'm thinking about it, just go ahead and anarchy in a few more supports here. Really all the way down to there. And then I would like to... Do we just do this section as a bridge? That way we remove the piece crossing in the way. Okay. That then comes along here. So now what we can do is we can get a bunch of people in here, but we can't get them to go anywhere because this doesn't actually connect to anything yet. So let's go ahead and upgrade without anarchy. Upgrade this into a 3-lane road. It's going to force people to have to skirt over. It might be wiser to have this as 4 for a little bit longer and then have it go down to 3. At 3, we've got a nice opportunity here to bring this down and in to maybe this road here. This is our main street, but I'm not going to be able to connect down into this road without causing some problems. This has got some parking along it, but because it has parking, I might be able to upgrade this without much of a problem. If we got rid of the parking, right? Now we've got the opportunity to bring an exit into this road. So, let's turn off anarchy. And let's go ahead and using our curve tool, okay, what if I went from here? Oh, it's because it's all the way to the ground. That's the problem. But actually, well, no, if I came from here, then these people would have to cross over all those lanes. If I'm from over here, they don't have to cross over nearly as many lanes. Basically, I want to take this and go like this. All the way underneath, if at all possible. Okay, bam. This is then going to connect right into here like this, but this is going to get upgraded into a 2-lane road. Just like that. So now we do have an exit here. I don't know why this tree is in the way, but it can go. Now we do have an exit. Is anybody going to be taking this exit? Let's see. Because you can technically come from here, go up this way, come down this way, cross over here, and go onto Glen. We've got our first passenger. Great. Now, I know that by deleting all this, I've just moved the traffic elsewhere. Where, I don't know. We're having a huge death wave and not enough customers. Sorry, guys. I did delete some buildings, but not that many. So, you guys need to relax. You need to relax. We're going to develop more customers soon. Okay. We've got our first exit. It's a little strange that you get over and then that becomes an exit lane. That doesn't really work, does it? That you get over and you're immediately stuck in an exit lane. So I guess this technically should be 4-lane it becomes an exit lane, but if you get over, you can then transition in. That's not too bad. That will work. People are already taking it. Let's get a second exit along this road, because just one is not going to be nearly enough. So now we need to allow you to get off somewhere else. Maybe you can get, or I guess we want to get you on. No? Or is this just going to be, you don't get on the highway here, but you do get off the highway here? Because that's also fine. We could send another one up this way. That would allow people to access Pearl Street to get over here into Ortega, or they could come over this way, get along on Robin Street, and head over into, what is this, Munster? Munster. So that's an option. Is there any vehicles that take this road, like buses? Any public transit? There's no public transit along that road. This is the only other road that connects these two neighborhoods besides this road. But I do wonder if it maybe makes sense to upgrade this here. Right? If we were to come from here, basically turn directly into this road, gives you a left and a right. And we could do another connection down to here. No, it doesn't fit, because that's way too steep. 15? Actually, redeveloping this right here that we just built. Hold on. Upgrade this into this 4-lane 2-way road. And just connect that back into there. It would mean this needs to briefly be 4 and 4 before it goes down to 3. If I use move it, I can fix this particular connection. Okay. So it gives us a whole nother way to connect into here. And with that, I honestly think we go ahead and we just upgrade. We're going to lose that business. But considering we're in a spot right now where we don't have technically enough workers, losing a business or two is not going to be a big deal. Right here we have a bus stop in the way. Let's move that. If I were to just shimmy this bus stop down to here, I should be able to come in here and just upgrade that into a 4-lane road. So now we've got another exit here, which people are already starting to take. So we have one exit, and we have a second exit right here. This autosave. This one does have an exit, and it has an entrance, so that's great. This has an exit here. We're already starting to see people coming into this exit. Why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and move this highway out of this area all the way over to the other side of the map. If I was to curve this, let's turn on our topography tools, and let's go ahead and lower this down to 0. Or actually, lower it down to 125. Or lower it down to 2. Lower it down to 2. And we're going to send it straight up to here. Do it at the 180. Okay. Now, that's got to connect into there somehow. How, I don't exactly know. This is just an absolute cluster, so I need to come back and fix this as well. And maybe that gets connected to this highway route somehow. I don't think we're going to solve this death wave anytime soon because the traffic can't seem to get anywhere. But we have moved all this back, and now there's a bunch of traffic here, but we might be able to continue solving that with more work. We re-added this exit. I think we do need to re-add this exit. Although it was not used frequently, it was valuable. We are going to have to use anarchy only because it is a tight little spot here. So there's no way to make this work without anarchy. Then I can use move it to try to fix just some of this. It's not as bad. Not as bad. Let's go ahead and switch back over to this. We've got anarchy on. Not that. We want retaining wall. Do we have a connection to I-70? If you're on I-70, you can take I-70 and get over onto this new highway. You can also take this new highway and enter onto I-70 North. But there's currently no way for you to go to I-70 South. But the way to do that would be right here. This might become a bit busy. But if I was to upgrade this section into a one-lane road, and then I was to take this piece here down to here and then start to turn. Well, one, could we even connect into that with this section? No, because we've got a pole right here. What I think we do with this is we use the complex tool and we wrap it around this pillar. And then, using anarchy, we connect underneath this bridge here. Which it says it's not high enough, but like it very much looks high enough. But we can't do that without also expanding this to have a third lane. Which that's where things are going to get tricky because I don't see how... Well, actually, no, we can fit a third lane right here. Third lane right there. So now there's another way to get onto this highway. Okay. Now this is going to be probably quite busy because we're starting to reduce the lanes here by a lot. I wonder if this just stays 3 lanes the whole way through. And briefly here, this becomes 4 lanes. Let's turn anarchy off if we can. Let's try to finagle this to work a little bit nicer. And then let's just go ahead and delete everything that's here. Okay. So now people can take that exit. Now, I want to get people up onto this highway. This would be a great place to do that. Because I could upgrade this into a 3-lane or even a 4-lane. The challenge is we're not going to be able to get... Because like we could do something like this. Bring this up this way and then connect it in. But now we've got 5 lights here. But that might not be a problem. If I was to come to here, connect in like this, upgrade this to 4, upgrade this to 3. It stays 3. They have one group that has to cross over. It's not ideal, but like, let me tell you, this is more connectivity than we had before. So that's got to count for something. Also, here we have a 3-lane and a 2-lane, and then we have a 3-lane and a 3-lane. But then we go to a 3 and a 2 again. So we have a dedicated turn lane. I guess there was an intention behind that maybe I've forgotten. Okay. We've got a whole new highway connection here. This isn't on here. Can you ever get off of Butler Highway? Not really. I think if you do, you get off and you head right into this road. Trying to be mindful about how to spread the traffic out so that we're not stuck with we're not stuck with traffic that, like, there's just no way they're going to be able to get through all this, you know? All right, let's do this here. Can this curve into this and actually, like, come down and meet it? No. Slope is too steep. But if I were to start this earlier, complex curve, go like this, and curve it in. Then we upgrade this to have 2 lanes on it here. Screw it. And we do it here too. So now we have an exit there. That means this here would need to be 3 lanes. Do I need more here? I don't actually know. This is already showing to be somewhat of an issue in that we've got a light here. And now these people are struggling to get out. We also have an asymmetrical road where the bus blocks that road, which means this is going to need to be upgraded as well. We'll put that into a 4 lane. We'll put that into a 4 lane. Frankly, we'll put that into a 4 lane. What if we just made this like really obnoxious? We've got the police academy in the way. Can I do a smaller version? No. I think this road needs to change just quickly. It needs to go from here into here. Connect separately. That way it's 2 separate interchanges that we're working with versus the one. We did lose all of our demand for any office, so let's just go ahead and replace this with some business, because we do know we need business. Not enough customers. We're starting to deal with the death wave, it looks like. All right. And then I would also want to consider doing more up this direction, because honestly, there's nothing happening here along Holly Street. This could just have its own exit. We upgrade this segment here into 4 lane. Upgrade this segment into 3. We take a 2. And we connect right into here. Turn off parallel. And we connect straight up and in like this. Like, why not? Frankly, most of this here was going to have... This had a road here to begin with. So if I repurpose that road and turn it into a highway entrance, it's not a bad idea. Upgrade this into 4 lanes. Upgrade this into 3 lanes. Let's just quickly come in here and rework this a little bit. Do something like that. So now we've got another entrance there, and then we just need to exit this. This could exit right to here, although that might be a little tight. What I'd rather do is have the exit and entrance for this come off on this road here. So if I was to take a 4-lane 4-lane divided road, just like this, like we kind of had before, and I use this as the entrance exit. I mean, there's not a lot that's going to be built in this little section, so I don't really need this 4-lane road to go all that much further. So what we could do is connect this into here, complex curve, and send this over to here. Upgrade this to 4. Bring a straight piece here, upgrade this to 3. Delete this. Right here, upgrade this here to 4. Upgrade this to 3. Use move it just to fix some of these lines. Okay. So now we've got an entrance and exit on both sides here. We don't have one here yet. I think this would also be valuable. Like, this just seems like a prime spot to have an entrance and exit. Do I reintroduce a road here, or do we leave this open like this? I'm thinking I might leave it open. I might leave it open. And I might take this to here. Let's raise it up just a bit. And we'll curve it in. Right here at this side, we'll upgrade that to a 2-lane. I don't really like it right there. If I moved it over a little bit, could I squeeze another one in here? Like if I did this and this, what would that look like? It would really exaggerate that intersection, which I don't love. And if I do 2 lanes, let's just see. If I did 2 lanes, people coming in from this entrance would get over 1, but then they would be stuck in an automatic exit lane, which we wouldn't want. Actually, either way, even if I make this an exit, they're going to be stuck in an automatic exit lane, so it doesn't really matter. But because we have a lot of development over here and it's only going to get worse, if I was to have 2 lanes here, that might be way more satisfying to this area. I still don't see a lot of people using this highway, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. All right, we've got entrance and exit right here. These are both working. We have an exit here. Since there's an entrance here, we're good. So that kind of is one set of entrances and exits. This is an exit. It's also another exit and an entrance. Here we have an exit. We don't have any more. It would probably help to also have an entrance in this area. So maybe that entrance comes from this section here. We can grab this road, rotate it this way. Then we give it a nice little curve. If I was to upgrade a small segment here like this, could I then just grab this and connect it right up in like this? Slope too steep. Okay, it is quite steep. That is not ideal. Upgrade this back into 4 or 2. Move the 4 to here. Grab this and connect it right up into here. Build that. It's because it's stuck to the ground. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Raise that section and then make this section have the little support system. This just is, it's been laid out wrong. This needs to come away from the other side. Not too bad. Now we can upgrade this guy to have 3 lanes, snap 2, and it gives you time to kind of reassess, get in the 2 lanes before you decide you want to take the other exit. So we've got an entrance and an exit here. We have an entrance and exit, entrance and exit. I'd love an additional exit, maybe down here onto Briarfield Street. This, I think, can be pretty simple. We're just going to turn that right there into a 3-lane road. We're then going to grab a 1-lane road here, and we're just going to rotate it so that it's down to the ground, maybe right to here. And then this, is it going to connect into this point? Or do we send it straight? No, I think we just curve this and we send it right into this road. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing crazy. It's just a simple little exit. Now, with it looking the way it does, though, I think maybe elevating this to a bridge and then giving this little section some supports would look better. But now we've got a much more robust connection throughout. Let's smooth out this little section. Doesn't need to look that way. There used to be a building there, not anymore. We could theoretically move that building back here, but I'm going to leave it alone for the moment. All right. It's not yet connected into its companion highway, which I think it might actually help a lot if we were to connect this up and also figure out a way to build this stronger, because this is not working in its current layout. But we've got one. Let's just count how many we've got. We got an entrance and exit on both sides. So that's one full interchange, right? Here we have a entrance and an exit. And we have an exit, but no entrance over here, which is okay. So we've got like 1 and 75%. Over here we have an entrance and an exit. We have an entrance and an exit, so we have 2 and 275. I don't know, I'm making up my math here. We have an exit only, which would be a quarter, right? So if we got 1 3/4, 1 a quarter, we're basically at 3 full entrances and exits. And then we come over here and we're able to go left. We're able to go right. We're able to come off of this road and come down this way. We're able to come off of this road and come down this way. And we're able to take this road and go to the left or the right. Wait a minute. If you're on this road and you come down here, you get onto this highway. So why would you ever take this road if it does the same thing? They both send you onto this highway. This road's not necessary. Or really, I guess maybe this little connection here is not necessary. Wait a minute. Let me look at this again. You come down this way, you're going to the left. But if you took this lane and went straight, you would be curving and again going to the left. I think we get rid of this one that goes over top. Yeah. I think we get rid of this one. Here's why. We can then rework this connection here. Let's go to single lane. And we can send it off of this guy. Complex curve. With anarchy. Oh, I keep forgetting I have things stuck to the ground. This just needs to be raised. Bridge whole way through. With supports there at the end. But then this little segment can be re-upgraded into the 2 lanes, which makes way more sense. But now you can go, if you're here, this way you can go to the right. You can go to the left. Okay. You can also, if I rotate this way, you can go to the right or to the left. You can't go to the right now, though. And so I think what I need to do is grab this guy, turn on anarchy. It would ruin that house, but I think it might have to. We could do that and not ruin anything. Anybody taking it yet? No. A lot of people taking Butler, though. Now we are getting some traffic. Let's see what's going on. So right here, we've got a ton of people in this intersection. Is it because of pedestrians that the traffic is being caused? And these roads have parking. Which, if they've got parking, I'm of the mind to say, like, we can get rid of the parking. Turn that into a 6 lane. Turn that into a 6 lane. The only thing stopping this from being a 6 lane is this pathway. Get rid of the path. Turn this into a 6 lane. This is claiming it's running into that. I don't believe that. So we're going to upgrade this into an asymmetrical 5-lane road. Allowing the traffic to come through this way. Giving that priority. Okay. I think this is getting pretty good. We've come quite far from where we started. I did get rid of this path here, which we probably could re-add, but if we re-add it, why don't we do it the right way? We've got this wide path now. I think we should use that way more often. That looks so much nicer. All right, there is some traffic here, but I do think some of it's just growing pains. The highway is being used. People are taking it both directions. It cuts right through the city there. But if we look, a little bit of traffic here, a little bit of traffic here, a little bit of traffic here, we knew all about that. over here, again, we've got tons of traffic, but I think a lot of this is because people are crossing. And we've got bikers on the road now, finally. Let's see how they're doing. If we check on our bike networks, bike traffic volume. So purple is a lot. So all the purple is where there's a ton of bikers. We're not in a place to worry about bikes just right this second. We just spent the whole episode building out these highways. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to think about bike infrastructure for the next part. But I gotta say, I'm not mad about this. Someone's using this lane. Look at that to get over here. Hello, airplane. It's kind of fun. I think this is working correctly. I think I have all the necessary connections. I did end up removing the opportunity for you to connect down to this area from this road. So I wonder if this road actually becomes a one-lane road, right? Starting here. And then we connect up to here. And we send this road kind of over just like this. Is this overkill with the train line? It might be. But I think we need it. There's a lot happening right here, but I think it's going to be useful. Now, we did end up getting rid of a few things like pedestrian pathways that were kind of walking the whole length. That's not ideal. I did want to have pedestrians kind of cross over. We could re-add that, though. Now, looking at this, we could re-add that. If I go here, this is a wide key with a bike lane as well. I'm thinking what we do is we start right here, right? We connect up here into this road. We don't need it to, like, do anything crazy, though. We're going to send this over this direction down into here. It's minor, but if I just went like that, look how much nicer that looks. Okay, so now we've still kept our connection here with our pedestrian bridge. Look at all these just roads and bridges and things. This is amazing. Now, I think to really make this work, I should re-add this guy here too. If we were to bring this pathway to here, bring this straight on out to here. Cross over. It's saying clearance is too low, but it's not highlighting the section where the clearance is. You can see the lines there. If we go like right here, we don't run into them again. Place this here. We've re-added that connection. We've kept this connection. I realize we don't really connect over into this side. We push everyone over onto this main road, but then again, it's a 6-lane road, so it would make sense that that's where we would push people. I think we've solved this traffic. This is fantastic. Let's go ahead and connect it into the main highway. I think that's where we'll call it for the day. But by connecting it to the main highway, we'll then actually get to stress test this a little bit. Right now, it's kind of just hanging out by itself. So what we can do here is, I think, something pretty simple. Let's go ahead and just expand both of these guys a little bit further to the north. Right about here. Do it straight, just like this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 2-lane connection into this highway. Upgrade this guy into a 4-lane. Cut it about here and then upgrade it into a 3-lane for a second. Then we're going to take 1 lane right here. Go ahead and start raising this up. Send that right to there. This then comes down. Connects right up and in. This gets upgraded into a 3-lane. I do think we leave this as a bridge the whole time. We will then use Move It to kind of fix all this. Don't worry. Here, I think what we do is we build this one a little bit differently. Right? Because if you're here, you can go left or you can go right. Here, you're going to want to be able to access... Oh, we're going to want to be able to get this over as well. So this will come out from here and cross over and in. Because this is going through the city, I do think this is going to be a bit more busy. If I were to bring it over like this, can we do it? If we're there, and then we go, if we curve to here, and we curve over here. Well, now I'm just like 36 meters up in the air, which doesn't make any sense. Let's do this. Let's grab a key wall. Give this section here a key wall. Switch over to our transform tool. Reduce the size of this and just break through that ground a little bit. Then we're going to grab our road and start getting it to cross over. Right? Back this piece up. Connect into here. Back that piece up even further, actually. Is this maybe going to be a little bit overkill? Sure, but whatever. Because if we were to bring this down to here, then we could take this guy, we could send him out this way, into here, and then up like this, and connect in there as well. Then this will get an upgrade into 3 lanes for, I think, actually a decent amount. Right there is pretty good. 3, 3, 4, 3. This could use a little bit more as well, so we could, with Anarchy, give this 4 and then give it 3. I'm just going to use move it real quick. We're going to make sure everything here looks nice. We've got a new highway. It's much larger than our others, but I think that's going to help a lot with getting the people through this area. There is currently no traffic here on Robin Street, and the initial onslaught of traffic that was really intense here in the downtown seems to have dissipated. We've not been able to solve this particular intersection yet. There's just a ton of people trying to connect through both. There is a world where we could have taken this highway and we could have extended it all the way over. It did delete a bunch of my buildings that were here, which kind of sucks. This neighborhood's looking a little blighted at the moment. But I don't know. I don't know if we need to extend this over. That might just be overkill. There's a lot of people here, but you could just take this bridge. There's going to be traffic somewhere. It's got to be. This area is also going to need a rework. I think we might have to get comfortable with just deleting a ton of buildings along the center skyline, but we'll think about that in the next part. All around, though, I think this is pretty good, and we were able to separate out the tram line, which that's huge. What are you doing? Excuse me, buddy. No wonder there's traffic. You're driving like a crazy person. Get out of here. All right. In between parts, what I'll probably do is go through, add a bunch of trees, detail this up a little bit, just make this look a little bit nicer. But for now, that's where we're going to leave this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.